All right, everyone. We just heard. We just got done interviewing all the 6 charities that are here, kind of putting stuff together for the communities, which I love that about Spindletop, by the way, how it's like local to the communities, and I think that's so important for our industry to get back to the communities. That's kind of the whole point of Spindletop. So right now, we just got done with the announcements and the raffle. Some people are kind of working their way around, and the bar is open. So while that's being said, we're going to kind of have a quick conversation with what is it, volunteer? What do you call yourselves?
So I'm Lia Vallone. I'm actually the executive director.
Executive director.
I run the organization, and this is...
I'm Alicia Chalmers. I'm one of the emerging leaders for the steering committee.
So tell me about real quick, I kind of want to get a 30,000-foot view of what Spindletop is. I know I've kind of touched on it a little bit, but if you want to give us the elevator pitch of kind of what it is and kind of who it impacts and helps out,
Certainly.
That'd be great.
So Spindletop has been around since 1965. We're a nonprofit that is fully funded by the energy industry. And we raise money through 2 different events. We have a holiday ball and a golf tournament each year. And then the net proceeds we give back out into the community to charities like the ones you've heard from today and seen today, and others that work with at-risk children throughout Greater Houston. And then on top of our monetary gifts, we also do volunteer time with all of these charities. So today's event's a great example. We have 6 charities out here to volunteer with. But typically, Spindletop has always been known by the executive leadership of different energy industry organizations from the operator and service side. And recently, in the last 3 years, we brought together an emerging leaders steering committee, which Alicia's part of, to bring about this volunteer effort and to be able to give time back to these organizations, not just money. And in doing that, it brings in all the other rising leaders and emerging leaders and young professionals that are in the energy industry, so it can be whole circle of the industry, not just one area.
And that being said, look, I hear the term YPE, I hear the term young professionals, I hear the term young. I'm thinking that's like, okay, once you reach 26, like you're cut off. Like, what is young? The emerging leaders, I guess, demographics. Where can people fall in on that?
Well, so we've talked a lot about that, and what does that actually mean, right? And so we're all kind of maybe in our 30s and 40s. Some of us are kind of in lower to middle management. Others are, heading in technical routes. Everyone kind of has their own thing going.
Right.
But so we haven't really stipulated anything like that. But it's kind of like this gap of people that we don't really pay attention to sometimes in the industry, right? So we've got Spindletop. Historically has done a lot with executives. Executives are all on the board. They all seem to know each other through Spindletop. Young professionals have their own little thing, right? When you get out of college, you join all these committees and things like that, right? But then what happens then in your 30s and 40s, when you're starting to make it, you still want to get to know other people and still be involved in the community. This is an amazing thing that we've actually come up with, that you can actually do that. And so, we've got a bunch of volunteers. We've got over 500 volunteers now in our Army. Is that right?
Yeah, between 400 and 500.
400 and
500
over 50
right now. Here today.
So I think we have about 65 people here today. And so what we're doing right now is we're doing about one event per month.
Okay.
And so one of my favorite things about Spindletop is that we hit a different charity every month, usually. And
how do y'all source y'all's charity? How do you find the charities that I guess you're going to do?
That's a question.
I love it.
We have a lot of them.
Yes. So
either one.
Typically each year we support about 20 charities.
Okay.
And some have been longtime partners that we've built relationships with over the years. At one point we had a grant process, but now charities come to us. They hear about us through networking, through some of our board members, through some of our volunteers. Right. They'll see us on social media of what we're doing, and they want to get involved because they see that they help at-risk children, and they want to see how they can maybe get involved with Spindletop as well. And so between having our long-standing partnerships and then meeting new charities, we kind of work with them to see if they're a good fit and if they align with our mission and the impact we want to make on the community. Because that's the biggest thing, is us being able to know that our money and our time is going right into the children that are disadvantaged, impoverished, and need the most help in our community. And if that charity aligns with theirs, then they're a great fit for us.
And that is the mission. That is the mission,
100%.
to help underprivileged children that don't have the access to, we're talking Christmas stockings, you know what I mean? Meals, whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, to help local children in our communities, which I dig about that. And going back to the kind of talking about the emerging leaders and all that stuff, that was a very good point. I remember Spindletop when I was, started off in Noble Drilling, and actually Aaron Zidell, for those of you that know Noble Drilling, Aaron Zidell is here. in the house. I love Aaron. We used to work with him like years ago, like a decade ago. So anyway, I'm excited to see him.
And 2 of our board members are former Noble Drilling.
Really?
David Williams and Julie Robertson.
I love both those people.
Actually,
Julie,
David's going to be here later, I think, isn't he?
Well,
Oh,
they
great.
he's headed out to the hunt, but yes.
Oh,
he's
great.
gonna
I
be
know
here.
Dave Williams. Yes,
He's a
he's
good
legit.
guy.
He's legit.
He's a
I
lot
love
of
that
fun.
guy. I wish he was here. I wish
He's
he
a
was
lot
here.
of fun.
That's the best way to put it. But that's the thing. I remember he invited me. He's the one that invited me to go to that Mardi Gras thing many years ago and all stuff. And you're right. There is an association with Spindletop of C-suite executives, and you can't get involved unless you reach this level and stuff. But I love how y'all are kind of adapting and being like, that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We need to kind of not just revamp, but also recruit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I've noticed it's very operator heavy, people that are volunteering. There's also a lot of service companies out there as well.
Yes.
So the networking here is tremendous,
It is.
in my opinion.
It is.
We just play the name game with several people that we know
Yes.
mutually. So how are y'all recruiting? I guess who are y'all looking to recruit to kind of come in and help out? I mean, who what are y'all looking for?
So right now it's a lot of word of mouth. So between the board members and between the Emerging Leaders Steering Committee, we actually cover a lot of companies, right? Between the operators and the service companies, we kind of have representatives from all those. And so, for instance, I'm at ConocoPhillips, and so I'm letting my colleagues know about this. And everyone else on the committees are also letting them know. And so, and when folks come to these events, they kind of let their friends know, and it's really spreading from a word of mouth right now. And it's becoming, one of the cool things to do.
Or you tune into the hottest live stream Friday afternoon at Carbach Brewery, this one right here. So what's the process of getting involved, I guess, becoming an emerging leader, if you will?
So the first thing that we recommend is that folks just get involved with the Army. And so really it's just contacting Leah from the Spindletop website.
Can you talk about the Army a little bit?
Yeah, so the Army is the 400 to 500 volunteers that we have that are already in our database. And so these are people that have already come to one of our events. And so they get on our distribution, and then, we're sending them out information around, what's coming up next. And so as I was mentioning, we kind of try to do one thing per month.
Okay.
And so these can range from, a 5-person volunteer event up to, 60-person volunteer event. And they're all different, right? And so that's one of my favorite things about this charity is because, sometimes, when you're involved in something, you're doing the same thing over and over.
That gets old.
It does get old,
yeah.
Right? And so what we're doing is, it's different all the time. So different charities, different activities. And so my favorite thing is sometimes they're manual labor, not interacting with the children at all. We did in something earlier in the month
or
where
you could put the children
we do the children. Yeah,
no.
so I mean, we're doing.
No,
we put the
we
children.
don't do that. We put the children to work.
No, we don't.
Okay, so we don't do that here. Sorry.
We work for the children.
Okay.
Yes, we do work with them. We work with them.
Okay.
So so everything from a manual labor thing to actually playing with the children, and so it really
That's awesome.
it depends on what do you like. Are you a person that likes to do something where you're actually working on something, or are you kind of softer and want to hold a baby and I mean, we kind of have everything for you. Or do you want to make sandwiches, or do you want to, it's kind of like, we have
how
a little
do people
something for
actually?
everything.
There is making sandwiches. We talked to meals, kids
and
meals.
we did that earlier this year. Yeah.
Yeah, we did that. So how do people? I guess First off, I mean, I didn't know there was 400 or 500 people in the Army. That's to me. I mean, that is a huge networking opportunity. I mean, look, yes, give back to the community, but I mean, as far as the networking side of things, that's tremendous.
Yes.
It is.
And to touch on that is actually one portion of our mission. On top of being able to give monetary and volunteer time to these charities, the reason we are named Spindletop is because our founder wanted to make sure that we had a charity that supported children but was given to and funded by the energy industry. So we were named Spindletop, so it was recognized in the oil and gas industry.
I love that.
And so a portion of our mission is not only to do all the work we do in the community, but then also build that networking community within the oil and gas and energy industry.
That's so needed right now.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
So I guess, so real quick, how can people, I guess, get involved and find out more information, join the Army, enlist in the Army, if you will? How do people do this?
So feel free to contact me. You can go on our website, which is spindletopcharities.org. We're also on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. And there is a way to contact the organization, so it'll go straight to me, and I can get anyone set up in our distribution list. Or if your company is interested in getting involved as well, happy to do that from a funding or volunteer standpoint. But really bringing you in to network with us and network with our volunteers and have a community within an industry that's giving back to at-risk children.
And the thing about this, I mean, obviously through the pandemic and COVID, obviously volunteer work, contributions slowed down and all that stuff. And coming out of it, it's regardless of whatever, this is such an important, impactful thing to our communities, which is exactly what our industry is known to do. But I think this is, I mean, bringing the younger generation on. I think it's just a great mix of providing for the community, the energy industry, oil and gas industry, providing to the community, the children. I'm really digging what y'all are doing, seriously. And bringing six charities like this together on a Friday afternoon. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's pretty good beer too, but I mean, some good people here, good energy here, and that's kind of what I'm digging. It's not stale. It's very lively, so I'm digging that. So.
Thank you.
So what else? Anything else? How people can kind of reach out, follow them on Instagram?
Yes, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. We'd love for you to follow us. We show all of our events, our special events, which is our holiday ball and golf tournament, which I talked about. We feature all of our volunteer events, and then we also feature our charities that we support. So you're able to see the work they do and how we are partners with them in the community.
What a great umbrella power locomotive this is. And I'm not just saying, I don't know why I just came up with that description, but it works. I mean, the people here, not only oil and gas people, but they're also people from every other sort of the industry. So the networking is here, and what this charity does, working with other local charities, helping children that need help. They're not even asking for it. That just need it. I really dig what y'all do. So thank y'all for that. So
thank you.
Again, connect with them, find them out. Spindletop Charities. Reach out to them to find out how you can join the Army and potentially get onto the emerging leaders. So I dig that. So all right, y'all. Well, let's get back in there and start getting busy.